What's up, Jeremians? Welcome to another video on the Arranger keyboards. So very recently, one of my students actually traded in his keyboard and got a Yamaha PSR S975. And I had a chance to play with it, and from there I could formulate my opinion of it and what I think about it. My eventual thoughts is that Yamaha is kind of doing a poor job at the PSR S975. In fact, the changes in the keyboard is so small and so insignificant that Yamaha has decided to name the keyboard S975 instead of 980 or 990, right? So it is just a very small number increment. There are really very small changes in the keyboard, and I'm not sure if it still justifies the price, because on Amazon the PSR S975 costs like $2,000 US, whereas the same brand new PSR S970 costs only $1,004, and the difference is $600. With the $600, you can buy a brand new E263 plus a brand new E463 plus a brand new E363 and still have change left. That is how much the price difference is, because dealers all across the world are trying to get rid of their stock of the PSR S970. But I don't think that the PSR S975 is worth the extra money. Let's start with the size. Both the keyboards, the 975 and the 970, are of the same size and they weigh exactly the same. I don't blame Yamaha, because it's a lot more cost effective to use the same chassis and just change the internal bits on the keyboard. However, something like the LCD screen, I wish the Yamaha has increased the size of the LCD screen, or perhaps improved the contrast, or maybe increase the resolution on the LCD screen, but Yamaha didn't take the opportunity to do that. And let's talk about the speakers as well. A lot of the complaints by the PSR S950 and the PSR S970 owners is that the speakers are kind of really boomy, and they kind of has this irritating boom that no matter how much you equalize the sound, you just cannot get rid of that ridiculously unnatural boom whenever a bass note sounds or a bass drum sound. And apparently is not solved even in this upgrade to the S975. It still feels very boomy, and it's still the same 15 watts on each side speaker. I wish Yamaha had made it a little bit more powerful, with more clarity in terms of the definition of the high frequencies and low frequencies. They could have taken this opportunity to make the speakers better, but unfortunately Yamaha didn't do that for the PSR S975. Next, let's look at the polyphony. The polyphony is exactly the same between the PSR S970 and the 975. Apparently, Yamaha didn't take the opportunity to increase the polyphony as well. And in an advanced keyboard like the PSR S975, which is the flagship of the PSR series, you know, the notes in the polyphony of 128 do run out pretty quickly. If you have a backing MIDI file running and you are playing long piano notes that is sustained and that is layered with strings, and 128 notes really run out really quickly. And if you trigger a couple of multi-pads along with it, and you realize that sounds starts to drop off, and that is actually quite obvious. And what Yamaha has also done is to change the color of the casing. So they have changed the color of the plastic casing to a matte black color instead of the current gray color, gunmetal gray color. I'm still undecided if it's better. It does seem to attract more dirt and dust to it. So whenever you have bits of dust on the black, matte black, it is kind of obvious. But you know, some change is better than none. So that is one way of differentiating between the S975 and the S970. Okay, as with any Arranger keyboards, the two most important factors that we will be looking at are the built-in voices and the built-in styles. let's not just talk about the expansion packs because the sky's the limit when it comes to expansion packs, but let's talk about what is built in. And I think a majority of people who own this PSR S series don't really use a lot of expansion packs. So let's talk about the inbuilt sounds. What is important to me in a PSR S series are the super articulation voices. And Yamaha has increased the number of voices in the PSR S970, which used to contain 989 sounds, and now it contains 1090 sounds. That's an additional 101 sounds. But unfortunately, they have only increased the number of super articulation voices by a mere 9. The number of mega voices remains the same at 30, and there is one additional sweet voice. The cool voices remain the same, and there are an additional 10 live voice. The organ flutes remain the same at 30, like the PSR S970. The thing is that Yamaha has realized that a lot of the users has been going on the internet and are able to get their hands on pirated expansion packs. You know, basically when somebody buys an expansion packs and they find a way to share with people, and there are actually people who sell Yamaha expansion packs. So what they do is that they buy the expansion packs and then they list it on their own personal sale website and then they sell it. So Yamaha has decided, right, since people are already pirating my expansion packs and putting my expansion packs into the keyboard for free, why don't I just include a couple of expansion packs in the current PSR S970, repackage it as a PSR S975, and sell it as a new model and charge people more money for it. I have had a look at all the voices inside there, and I won't use most of the voices because these voices and the additional styles seems to be geared towards the Middle Eastern market, the Oriental market, with a lot of ethnic instruments. I don't see improved saxophones, I don't see improved strings, I don't see improved choir sounds. All the nice, yummy, tasty sounds that the general keyboard player will use for pop songs, for jazz pieces, are just simply not there. What I'm finding is these Middle Eastern and Oriental voices, in addition to the EDM synth sounds that Yamaha seems to be going towards that direction. I'm not sure if Yamaha statistics is beginning to show that more people are using the PSR keyboard for more synth-based and EDM music, but it seems like with the Groove Creator in the PSR E463 and the PSR S975, there is this heavy push towards EDM-based instruments and styles. And with Yamaha providing an extra 9 super articulation voices, I am really disappointed that there isn't an inclusion of at least one single super articulation button, you know, where the live control knobs are, where the pitch bend are, because in the Tyros, we had like 2 super articulation buttons, and then now in the Genos, there are actually 3 super articulation buttons there to trigger the super articulation effects in the super articulation voices. I like these voices because it's really expressive and you can actually play it realistically like a real instrument. However, without these buttons, you have to trigger it with the pedal. And if you're already using one pedal to change your registration setting and you're using another pedal to trigger the fill-ins and turn on and off vocal harmonies and stuff like that, you just simply don't have enough pedals to trigger the super articulation voices. So just give us one single button, Yamaha. Now that Genos has 3 buttons, why can't we have one single button for the super articulation voices? Why do we always have to assign that to a pedal? Next, let's look at the number of additional styles that Yamaha has added from the PSR S970 to the PSR S975. I have had a look at the style list, and I am surprised to see some of the styles actually came from the Genos, and the PSR E463 even had those styles. And I think that is why Yamaha decided to release this PSR S975 with this couple of extra sounds, because it would be ridiculous if PSR E series has styles, which the Genos has, and this supposed flagship of the S series doesn't even have these styles. Styles has been increased by 73, and the PSR S970 used to have 450 styles, and now the 975 has 523 styles. However, the very most important and the styles that I love, which are the audio styles, because audio styles are so realistic. They are played by real drummers. Instead of being a MIDI file, these are actually drum samples that has been played live, and there is no increase in this audio style files. I would expect Yamaha, why couldn't you give us an extra few more audio style files? My first go-to style, I will always look for an audio style first before I even think about a MIDI file or a pro file or a session files, but there is no additional audio style files. The other kind of styles I enjoy are the free play styles. I love it because it's so expressive. You can play it in a rubato style for dramatic effect, and it has this cinematic quality to it when you layer it with lush strings and with lush choir sounds. However, the PSR S975 continues to have only a pitiful 3 free play styles that was brought over from the PSR S970. The session files, which are actually better quality than the pro files, the pro style files, has been increased by 4. The most increase has actually been in the pro styles, and the pro styles has been increased by 65. To me, I feel that of all the kind of styles available, audio styles, session styles, DJ styles, as well as the free play styles, the pro styles are the most normal. These are the very normal sounding files. The minute you play a pro style, it just sounds like it's an arranger keyboard. I'm not a big fan of pro styles. Multi-pads, however, has been increased significantly by 120. Yamaha has realized that a lot of players has begun to use multi-pads as an audio link to add like recorded samples, vocal samples, to kind of spice up their playing. And multi-pads is a great way to kind of add a personalized touch to bits and parts of your song so that it differentiates itself from anybody else who has that same keyboard. So it's a great creative outlet for arranger keyboard players. And this has been increased by 120, and I'm glad that Yamaha has done that. And the expansion memory, let's come to the expansion memory. Yamaha has increased a very pitiful amount of 256 megabyte of expansion voice memory from the 512 that it had in the PSR S970. So now the 975 has 768 megabyte of expansion voice memory, and that allows you to load sample voices that you download from the internet. However, that is really so little because, let's be frank, my tiny little smartphone from China that costs only a few $100s has like 5 times more memory than this Yamaha keyboard that costs $2,000 US. And that is really troublesome because whenever we have a small amount of memory and we load sounds into it, it's not able to load up all the sounds, and we have to keep switching samples when we're playing different songs. And we all know that loading of samples takes a really long time. Especially on the PSR 970. Although Yamaha has improved the load times of expansion packs on the 975, it is still very welcome to have a significant amount of expansion memory space. Yamaha, this is 2018, right? Give us 2 gigabyte, 3 gigabyte, right? And the amount of memory for storing expansion audio styles, the styles that matters. Audio styles is the quality styles that we performers look for. This has remained the same. Yamaha didn't allocate more to these. And finally, the live control knobs, right, is on this side of the keyboard, can finally be saved in a registration memory button. In the 970, you cannot save the settings of the live control knobs into the registration buttons. But now on the 975, we can finally save this assignable live control knobs into the registration memory, which is a much welcome change. To kind of justify the massive price difference between the PSR S970 now, Yamaha has added 2 tiny little features that I don't think is very useful. One is the mono legato feature. If you have a solo voice which is set to mono and you are alternating between the notes, it gives you a sort of a portamento effect to the notes, which is great if you are playing Middle Eastern music, but I don't really see it as being a very useful feature that I will use. And the other one is the half bar feel. Again, the half bar feel, Yamaha couldn't have given us an extra button. They could have given us an extra button that triggers the half bar feel if they think it's such a useful function, right? So for example, if you're playing a song with 4 beats in a bar and there's a small tiny area where it's just a 2 beat running, you can trigger it with the half bar feel. But to use the half bar feel, you have to go into the function menu, right, and configure your controller to trigger the half bar feel. So if I'm going to use my pedal for super articulation voices, to change registration, to do fill-ins, and I want to use that for half bar fills, I just simply don't have enough pedals. So it could have been a button. And to trigger the half bar fill, you have to make sure you're stepping on the pedal while you press the button that you want the half bar fill, whether it's the variation A, B, C, or D. Now let's talk about what I think Yamaha could have done better. I felt that Yamaha can add more super articulation buttons that's right now 0. Give us at least 1. I feel that Yamaha can give us a bigger screen, a better LCD screen, larger, clearer, brighter, more contrast, more powerful speakers, and also the key bed could have been better. I don't know, it just, you know, when you compare the key bed to the Genos, it's kind of like miles apart. Perhaps we can close the gap. I'm not expecting like the best key bed, but let's close the gap. And I am looking forward to a 76 keys 975. You know, there is a market for that. A lot of us are using the PSR S series to play piano pieces and electric piano pieces as an intro or in the middle of a song, and a longer keyboard, 76 keys, would definitely be very welcome. And the things that the 975 comes with vocal harmony, which is great for plugging in a mic and singing along with backup singers while we play like a piano style behind it and play piano chords behind it. And the 76 keys would definitely be very welcome. Very often when I find I'm playing piano on the PSR S970 and I'm trying to hit the lower notes and I end up not finding it there, I have to go and hit the octave minus and lower the octave in order to hit the low notes. So the Yamaha has great piano samples that it sounds really good when it's low down, but you know, there's just not enough keys to play that. And I wish that there are sliders under the LCD screen rather than buttons where you go up and down. You know, this could have been changed. So the Tyros had sliders under the LCD screen for changing the values, and that was very useful. And for the Genos, you know, this has been expanded and shifted to the sides because now it is a touch screen. So I don't think Yamaha will cannibalize on their own market for the Genos if they had just provided sliders under the screen for the PSR S975. And the biggest surprise is that I'm not sure if a lot of people know about it, but the flagship Genos, which costs so much money, and the PSR S975 and the PSR S775 does not support USB audio output. So when you try to plug in a USB cable and try to go direct to your iPad or Android for recording and to your laptop for recording, it doesn't output audio, which is a shame. Come on, Yamaha, you guys have given this function on the E463, and this function is even available on the PSR E363, but it is not on your flagship PSR S975. What's up? I hope this video gives you a better understanding of what has been upgraded from the PSR S970 to the PSR S975. So let me know if you like this video, if you enjoyed what I've been telling you. So please do share this video with your friends and give this a thumbs up and subscribe if you're new here. Till the next time, bye bye.